Good morning, one and all. Respected dignitaries, delegates, students, participants, faculty, and the online participants also. Welcome you all to the second day of the International Conference on Sustainable Materials, Methodologies, Technologies, and Applications in Engineering. We thank you all for your support in coming here and making the day one a success. Uh, in view of that, we would like to show you some key moments of the day one of the event that has happened. And we kindly request your patience in looking at that video. Thank you, everyone. Without further ado, we now request our uh, Dr. Karthik to present a nice profile of our keynote speaker, Dr. Gasim. Sir, please take over the session.
Thanks, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Speaker and head of the department for giving me this opportunity. It's my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to today's event and most importantly, to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker. Today, we have opportunity to hear from someone whose work has made a significant impact on water and wastewater treatment, as well as its quality monitoring, and whose vision and leadership continue to inspire and challenge all of us. We are truly fortunate to have him with us. Our speaker, Dr. Qasim Haider Ahmed Salik, Associate Professor, Civil and Environmental Engineering Department, University of Nizwa, Oman. Dr. Qasim has authored and co-authored nearly 200 research articles, which is published in various reputed Scopus and Science Index citation journals. Dr. Qasim has completed more than 15 research projects, and he has guided various students from international country in PhD and postdoctoral levels. His dedication, passion, and groundbreaking work have not only shaped academia, but have also influenced countless individuals and organizations. As we gather today to share ideas, collaborate, and learn one from another, I'm confident that our keynote speakers' insight will provide valuable perspectives and ignite important discussion that will resonate long after this event. We all are excited to hear his thoughts on sustainable wastewater treatment using bioremediation and gain inspiration from this journey ahead. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Qasim Haider, who will now take the session. Sir, please, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the inviting me, and also thank you for all the audience, the professors and the doctors and all our participants and the students. It's a great honor to join your conference in this second day. Allow me now to share the screen. If the sound is okay, hello, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. We are hearing your voice, sir.
Yes.
Audible, sir. You are audible.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for the confirmation. So I would like to share the screen. If you can allow me the privilege to share the screen.
గ్రూప్ లో చూస్తే కానీ అదేంటో తెలియదురా 317 అని చెప్పారు అట్లా ఏం తెలియదురా నేను అటు వెళ్ళలేదు రామ్మోహన్ సాగర్ ఒకరు ఉంటారు ఆయన తీసుకొని మీరు చేయండి అని చెప్పారు మేడం
Okay, now you can see my screen. Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Okay, again, thank you for hosting me, and thank you for this very unique conference of the sustainable materials, methodologies, and technologies and application in engineering, hosted by the CVR College of Engineering, Hyderabad, India. So thank you also for the welcoming speech and just now also the introduction. So my name is Qasim, and I'm previously active in University Tenaga Nasional in Malaysia, and currently I'm affiliated to University of Nizwa in Oman. So today I would like to share just a few highlights about something important. I think everybody, many of the researchers in the sustainable field and in water and wastewater, they are looking forward to it. So again, I would like to say also good morning, and it is also good evening, and also it is good afternoon in some part of the world. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today's topic will be on the sustainable wastewater treatment using phytoremediation. And I think from the title, it is very catchy that we are talking about sustainability, because now most of the processes and also the advancement and also the invention, they are looking forward to make it sustainable. So sustainability is now a trend, and it is also directed by many of the nations, and it is also addressed by the United Nations in the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. So we are now trying to look into how to make the wastewater treatment sustainable. Means it is environmental friendly and it is acceptable by the society, and also it is cost effective. And for this, we are trying now to look into the phytoremediation. So phytoremediation, I think it is not strange for many of you. The field of using the plants for the remediation, which is the treatment. So next in my presentation, I would like to share what we are trying now to discuss together and to brainstorm about it. It is first, we want to look what is phytoremediation. It is just a recap of what many of you already well aware about, and it is introduction and also definition of the phytoremediation. And for the second topic below, right, 0.2, it is on the mechanisms of the phytoremediation, how to conduct this method and how to execute it. And we will try to highlight about 6 techniques and also 4 mixed method of the phytoremediation. On the third topic, and you can see it in the middle of the screen, we want to discuss also about the advantages. And we are also not denying there are disadvantages of this process. And on this, we want to discuss the limits and also the advantages, and which will be discussed. On the fourth highlight, we want to discuss about a particular method that is related to the phytoremediation, which is the constructed wetlands. And here we want to introduce and also define what is constructed wetlands. It is also well known to many of you. On the fifth topic, we will try to look into the type of the constructed wetlands and also the examples. And here we would like to have discussion on several types in this presentation or this discussion. Lastly, we will conclude, and also we will also give credit to what references that we use during our discussion. So I would like to start with this one. It's not my work, but it is, as you can see, it is a well designed graphical abstract. It is from an article, which is the phytoremediation in sustainable. So you can also look at the full article online. And you can see here on the top left of the screen, this is the discharge, of course. When we use water, so it will be used water, which we call it wastewater, which will be contaminated with the pollutants. So if you look to the graph going below, follow the arrow, the pollutants will interact with the water, and that will create concentration, certain concentration of the pollutants. So the remedial action, or what we call it, the treatment, is initiated when the certain plant species are exposed to the contamination. So if you look at the middle of the screen, so you will see this nice created graph on the phytoremediation processes. So we also would like to say that phytoremediation is not accomplished in one step, but it is multiple steps. So as you can see here, there is something carried out on the plant, the leaves, and also the roots, and also based on many of these, as you can see, highlighted in green. So after that, if you follow the arrow to the right of the screen, so after the water gone or undergo the treatment on the phytoremediation, then we will conduct, of course, the analysis of the water sample on the lab, right? then we will get the result, and we will evaluate the effectiveness of this process. Let us now just go to the highlights that we just now mentioned. So first, we can say as in introduction, the increase in the population and also urbanization demands from, and also the demands from the agriculture sector towards meeting the fresh produce needs of the growing population has put severe pressure on the available water, right? So I think water now is a problem, and many conflicts is actually arising from the water. So we can say that thus the water is undoubtedly the most crucial right resource that we everybody looking at it. So we want to look into how to preserve and develop different strategies through which challenges of the water scarcity are met, is considered, of course, everyone task, especially on researchers and educated people. In this regard, water recycling through biological procedures such as phytoremediation is perceived and assumed as a workable way to give a good water within the budget and also environmental consideration, and also to be acceptable with the people. In actual sense, current and also future water shortages could possibly be addressed by the application of this procedure. So what is the phytoremediation? Okay, let us look into it. The environmental pollution and also contaminants are well known, and due to the influence of the industrial development and environmental pollution, it have increased this pollution. And just to also save time, so we can look into what are the problems that will happen. It can be happen from the acid leaching, from the soil washing, from the mechanical or physical separation, and also chemical processes, biochemical processes. All these put pressure on the soil, and also put heavy metals, and that can actually be treated. These remediation techniques may have a logistical problem, right? Because we are trying to use some chemical and also some things that will cost money. And also it is technically complex, right? And it took sometimes long duration, and it is require, of course, some money. Bioremediation is a promising and innovative technology that is available to remove the heavy metals and other type of pollutants. Phytoremediation is one of the bioremediation methods that can be used as an alternative to remove those contaminants. So from where the word came in, phytoremediation, it is a two combined word, which is plant as the phyto, and of course remediation is the treatment or correcting things or to remove something. Okay, so if we want to define it, it is the use of plants and grasses and other together with the associated microorganisms in order to remove those harmful materials from the environment, or from the water, or from the soil. So phytoremediation can be used for removal of organic pollutants and other type of pollutants. So on the, okay, let me just highlight this one. Okay, for the plants that has ability to uptake pollutants or heavy chemicals from the environment, and also finish and also detoxification by different mechanism. So all this is actually part of the plant life cycle. In general, these plants can handle contaminants without affecting the soil. Therefore, it can conserve its fertility and also utility. So what are the techniques or the steps happening within the phytoremediation? So just to summarize, it is by phyto filtration, okay, or by the extraction happening from the plant, or by the stabilization, right? And also many of this is happening in different part of the plants as pictured here, and this picture also is actually taken from this source. So each of those what we mentioned earlier, okay, or the 6 mechanisms, it have a certain procedure and process. So I think because we are starting late and because of the constraint of the time, so we will share some of this. But for example, for the phyto extraction, so it is also type of or mechanism of absorption. So it is happening by the plants. So what are the plants or example of plants that are good at extracting the pollutants? So you can see these nice pictures. It shows certain plants and they are good at what? For example, on this, the first one at the left side, you can see it is the by use to and show some effectiveness in the copper absorption, and also for the second one for the nickel and for the zinc. So all this is from the plant absorption. And for the phytodegradation, it is also another type of transformation of the pollutants from certain type to another less harmful contaminant or constituent. So this picture it shows some of the plants that are good at the degradation or the transformation of the pollutant. Stabilization, okay, it is also have a mechanism. So I will just skip this. Then you can see these nice photos also show some of these plants that they are actually tested by many of the researchers, as you can see below here. Okay, and this is also another type of mechanisms that or techniques used by certain plants to remove the pollutants. What are the plants? So you can also see this plant, which is good for the mercury, and also the other plant. So in the filtration, it is also a good technique that is happening by the root of the plant. And this root actually is acting as a natural filter. So it can also filter the contaminant from the water and from the soil. So what are the plants that was tested and proved to be effective in removing or filtering these pollutants? So you can see here in the shared slide what are those type of plants, and also you can refer to the original sources. So another technique here, and I would like here to summarize the advantages and disadvantages in overall in the phytoremediation, looking at the 6 techniques that was discussed just now. So first, what are the advantages? So of course, the reduction of the surface water or surface runoff. So just for the layman, what we mean by the surface runoff, it is of course when you have rain, right, rainfall or precipitation of the water, right? So if the soil or is not covered by plants, so that will lead to the water will run off or at the surface of the soil, that will result in flash flooding, for example, and also less absorption of the soil to recharge the groundwater, and also erosion of the soil, and also that will be a problem. But when you have many of these plants on the soil, that will retain or slow the surface runoff, which is a good advantage. And also it is easily controlled than the microorganisms, because microorganisms are more sensitive, right? So here we are actually looking into many of these plants as stable techniques. It is a passive technique. It is low capital requirement. It needs just a small energy on the preparation, plantation. It is also environmental friendly, right? Because plant, right? There will be also added value from the removing of the CO2, right? It utilizes natural and renewable sources. It grow, right? Keep growing, and also it can be a feedstock. It have less secondary waste, right? Because plants also can be degraded later on. Less carbon footprint. It is actually is a sink, right, for the CO2, because it can absorb the CO2. Reclamation of the water, of the wastewater, sorry, and nutrient also, nutrient that is found in the water, especially when we are talking about the domestic or sewage, right? Generation of the feedstock for different application. That's very great, right? We can utilize those plants that was grown to remove the contaminant from the water. Cost effectiveness, and also possibly of harvesting the plant for the extraction of the absorb. And this one is also very good, because some just now we say, okay, some of the plants, they can absorb the contaminant and retain them in the roots or the leaves or others, right? So we can harvest these plants, and from there we can actually re-extract those contaminants that can be reused for something else, right? However, there is always some disadvantages that cannot be denied, right? Contamination may spread, right, through the food chain. Because, you know, when we grow those plants and the water or the soil is contaminated, then most probably you will be having the contamination in the plant itself, right? That can actually contaminate the animals. So we have to look into what technique was used by the plant to remove the contaminant, and what are the contaminants. Then we have to test the transformation in the long term and also in the short term. So the bioavailability also and toxicity of the degradation products may remain largely unknown. So many research need to always continue, especially when we look into the industrial contaminants or the emerging contaminants, right? Restricted also to shallow land and soil, or where the pollutant is localized to surface less than 5 meters. Why? Because we are looking into the roots, right? The roots and the water, right, that can be in contact with the plant. So if you have this pollution is deep, then it might not be wise to look into this process. Okay, so shallow contaminant and also the phototoxicity of the contaminant slower than the conventional method that we use, maybe chemical or biological process or even physical processes that might not take longer as compared to the phytoremediation. And unknown effect of the biodegradation product. So long-term need to be studied. Potential of contaminant to enter the food chain, as mentioned earlier. Plant also mats harbors. They are then they can have those insects, right? And mosquitoes that actually, if we are especially looking into the constructed wetlands, because we might actually generating or making a suitable environment for those insects and flies and mosquitoes, especially in places where there is a problem with those insects that they are causing some of the what they call it, the health effects, right, or diseases. Okay, this is one of the good studies based on the citation. It was actually carried by my student in the University Tenaga National Unit 10, and it is good, widely actually cited. It is on the life cycle assessment of the wastewater treatment using the phytoremediation techniques. So here we try to look into the full life cycle. We look into the water sources that incoming to the plant, which is near the campus of the university, right? So we look into how much and transformation of certain pollutants, right? Not all of the study details was published, okay? But we are looking forward to publish more on it. So what are the pollutants that is removed and remain within the conventional treatment? Then we are tapping from the treated effluent that is outgoing from the treatment plant. Then we have constructed our phytoremediation biodegradation process, and it was for very long term working. Then we tested in a continuous mode on how much was the removal. Then we harvest also the plants to investigate on the biomass, looking into the chemicals, also bioenergy, fertilizer, phosphorus, and also other mechanisms that can be used by utilizing those plants as the feedstock. Okay, then of course the treated wastewater from this polishing system, it is also was discharged to the nearby water course, and it was nicely closed. So we were able to also investigate on the long term on the pond. Okay, so these are some of the plants that were tested, and it was really a good study that we have done, and it was also catch many of the attention. So talking about that research, which we just now highlight, right? We also it is type of phytoremediation, which is the constructed wetlands. So, and this constructed wetland, we usually call it as a mixed technique that have hydraulic barrier, vegetation cover by also phytodesalination, and it is widely used. People using it. Constructed wetlands is all those techniques because it mimic what is happening in the nature, right? And is not regarded as a proper phytoremediation. This is because it is based on the contribution of the whole system, including the phytoremediation. So it is also looking into other techniques. This technique also refers to the ecosystem, includes the microorganisms, where the microorganisms active role, it is of course in the water medium, right, and also on the soil. Plus, it is also in the root of the what they call it, the plants. Okay, I think the time maybe is running out. So this is in general the application of the constructed wetlands in the phytoremediation. So constructed wetland is the man-made swamp, right? It is. So this is why people they took this idea from the swamp ecosystem, developed and also built in a manner to allow the application of natural ecosystem involving the vegetation, microbial, and also others. So of course it needs some parameters to be measured or sustained, such as the how much is the dissolved oxygen available. So this is some of the application that you can find it in many places. These are not our pictures. So these are from the literature review. Okay, so type of also constructed wetlands, there are many of them. They can also be used in like golf courses because it match, right? The ecosystem in the public recreational lake is also good, will be very attractive in the lake on research institute premises. And in Malaysia, we have it in a very unique place, which is a new city or administration city. They call it Putrajaya. So in Putrajaya, they are having a wetland park, and actually Putrajaya itself, there are many of these swamp. Then it was really well managed. Then they can have it preserving a good ecosystem. So constructed wetlands have low operation and maintenance cost since it uses natural resources and only require periodic on-site labor and also maintenance. So provide an opportunity to create or restore nature environment. Constructed wetlands also give and also aesthetic value. It can also be used for environmental training, and also it acts as the retention pond that help to manage the runoff. There are many types actually of constructed wetlands. So you can have this type of horizontal and vertical and hybrid, and I will just skip this to save time. So this is a certain type of the constructed wetlands, right? Free water surface. And this is some schematic diagram. It is taken from the literature. It's not from our research. So you can have the water incoming, then it will be naturally filtered in this constructed wetlands where they are having the soil. So it is not floating constructed wetlands. We have also the horizontal subsurface flow constructed wetlands. So you can have limited actually soil, but you have suitable plants that actually can also filter and also remove the pollutants. Okay, we have many of them, so I will not take longer on this. So this is type of also constructed wetlands. We have also one that is very famous now, which is the floating. I think many of the researchers and I believe in your institution also, you are having tried to do this floating. And it is actually very good in batch mode and as well as in the continuous mode. Okay, yes, there is a good now trend. They are looking into the hydroponic system, which is also it needs like a long explanation, but I think many of you already aware about it. So hydroponic, where you can use the plants to filter the water, then you can also integrate it with the fish, right? That need this treated water, right, to survive. Then the waste coming from the fish and also from the food that given to the fish can be recycled to this system, so it can be a nutrient to the plants. Then the water will be clean. Then it is recycled back to the fish tank. So there are, of course, advantages of the system. I think is a very good system, although it is a slow system. Then there is many research ongoing. I think my time is already over. So just here, I want to stop about one of our papers that actually catch my attention, which was the review, but it was among the most highly cited papers, which is about recent study on the application of the aquatic weed plant in the phytoremediation of the wastewater. So this research was actually carried by our team, my student and myself. So it was also a good publication that actually having a good citation and trending in the as a literature review. I invite you to look at it. There is a good cover for the phytoremediation. Also, we managed to have a book that is published by my student and myself on the phytoremediation of the domestic wastewater with the Internet of Things and also machine learning technique. So this was like a good step, and we believe that we have started to give to highlight more about this integration of the IoT and AI to control and optimize the process, because we are looking into making the process sustainable, right? So because usually this type of process, it is like it take a big what they call it space area. It require management. So with the aid of the IoT and AI, it actually can be well managed. And now we are also doing second step of this, but you can also refer to the book to get some of the insight of the preliminary findings. Okay, so as a conclusion, sorry if I'm taking long, phytoremediation can be used for removal of the organic pollutant and also other type of pollutant. There are many mechanisms for it. Constructed wetlands is one of the good application that people use in it. Okay, yeah, there's many of this. So this is our, we give credit to the resources that we use to navigate through this sharing today. And this is the paper that I was just now referring to it, as well as the other papers that we use in our sharing today. So thank you very much for your time and your also attention to this sharing, and thank you also for the invitation from the conference and also from the CVR College of Engineering. Thank you, everybody, and back to the MC. Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Haider. If there are any questions from participants, we will take some. Any queries? Yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Dr. Karthik, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. I want to know, is there any plant which can extract treat or purify some hard metals like arsenic and cadmium?
Sorry, really, the line was not clear. If you can repeat again.
Is there any, we discussed about phytoremediation, like constructing some sort of wetland, and plant can able to absorb some sort of heavy metals, like you discussed about mercury also. And you have given some example. These are the plants which can able to absorb those pollutant.
If I can just comment in general, if I can just understand you well. So yes, those plants are very effective in removing the heavy metals. They are not causing toxicity to the plants. The certain type of plants, they are very effective in removing those heavy metals, but they concentrate those heavy metals within the plants. So this is one of the disadvantages. But with harvesting those plants, so then managing those plants after harvesting, then we can get rid of the heavy metals. The removal was great, like more than 90%, at least in our experiment. But there is many research out there discussing about more removal percentage on certain type of heavy metals.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
We can take some online participants' questions if there are any. Any online participants who would like to have some queries? Yeah.
So it is Muthukumaran from NSIC Hyderabad. So I gone through your presentation, sir. So just I want to understand what is the typical lifespan of the plant that will be taking the benefit for purifying the materials which has been shown in your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for the question, Doctor. Yes, different plants, they have different age, and they're growing, and to look into the full life cycle of them, it differ. So some of them, they are taking very short, like within 21 days, you can already observe a good removal. But sometimes they are taking longer than that. And this is one of the disadvantages of this process. Yes, it is very slow to start. It is very slow to show the effectiveness. But on the long term, when you are harvesting well them, managing them, because also their life cycle, most of them, they are small type of plants, so they will not live longer. Then when they die, they create another problem, which they are themselves a pollution. So yes, the things is not really easy, and not all of it is just like this. So yeah, we have to discover things, but there are limitations. Thank you for the question.
So continue, last question from my end. Actually, in your presentation, you have been shown the advantages of going for phytoremediation. In the thing, it has been mentioned that amount of energy consumption is less I was not in energy consumption related to water for pumping, or it related to any other electrical energy you are saying, sir?
Yes, good question also. Yes, because we look at the full life cycle assessment. So planting the plants is already will consume some energy using machineries to prepare. So we don't want to close eye on all this, but it does the energy here is on the preparation of the land, preparation of the setup, and also, yes, as you mentioned, if the water require pumping, then there will be pumps that bring in the influent. But most of the effluent, the one that is treated, is going by gravity, and also the flow through the setup, it is by gravity. But yes, as you are mentioning and you observe, it is, yes, mainly on the water and preparation of the system. Thank you.
Once again, we thank Dr. Haider for spending his time and enlightening us with the usage of how we can deal with the wastewater treatment. And I would like to add one point here to what Dr. Haider has mentioned. The point here is nature has the best purification methods that are available in the nature itself. So if we can identify them and if we can effectively utilize them, it doesn't matter the concentration of the hazardous waste that is available. Everything can be purified and we will be able to get the sustainable revolution at the highest peak. And with that statement, I'd like to thank our speaker and yeah, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I wish you very good luck. And thank you for organizing this nice and unique event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, we will conclude this session, and the technical sessions will be starting in 5 to 10 minutes, please. Thank you.